Recipients of the Prime Minister's Award for Teaching Excellence were announced on February 13th at a ceremony in Ottawa. These awards honor elementary and secondary school teachers across Canada who have had a proven impact on students in the fields of science, technology, and mathematics.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome, award recipients, honored guests. Bonjour et bienvenue, mesdames et messieurs, lauréats et lauréates, invités distingués. It is my great pleasure to be here to welcome you to today's ceremony in honor of the 1996 national recipients of the Prime Minister's Awards for Teaching Excellence in Science, Technology, and Mathematics. My name is Jan Eastman. I am the President-designate of the Canadian Teachers Federation. Je suis Jan Eastman, Présidente désignée de la Fédération canadienne des enseignants et des enseignants. The CTF was created in 1920 to ensure that teachers' opinions were heard and taken into account in any actions which affect them. The Federation also coordinates the sharing of ideas, knowledge, and skills among its 13 provincial territorial member organizations, which represent 246,000 teachers. Our main focus for the past several years has been to promote and defend public education in Canada. La FCE reconnaît et encourage l'innovation dans l'enseignement. C'est une des raisons pour lesquelles je suis heureuse de participer au programme du prix du Premier ministre pour l'excellence dans l'enseignement des sciences, de la technologie et des mathématiques. Je suis aussi très fière de pouvoir célébrer les efforts méritoires de plusieurs de mes collègues. I now have the pleasure of introducing you to the Secretary of State for Science, Research and Development, whose department, Industry Canada, administers this prestigious program on behalf of the Prime Minister, Dr. John Gerard.
Mesdames et Messieurs, bonjour. It is good to see so many of my colleagues, members of Parliament here, and welcome to this support for teaching and teachers who are excellent today. As Secretary of State for Science, Research and Development, and a former medical doctor, I'm really proud to be part of this event, which honors a group of teachers who so successfully fired the imaginations of Canadians about science, technology, and mathematics. Vous leur donnez le goût des études et les orienter vers des carrières de type de celles que j'ai moi-même trouvées très enrichissantes et qui sont très importantes pour l'avenir du Canada. Avant d'entrer en politique, j'enseignais à la faculté de médecine à l'Université de Manitoba. Je sais donc ce que cela signifie de se trouver devant une classe d'essayer d'inspirer de jeunes esprits. Et je sais combien cela peut être difficile. The teachers that we honor here today have demonstrated passion, ingenuity, tremendous commitment in teaching and inspiring our young people. They have all found innovative ways to make science and mathematics come alive for their students. They're making a difference for young people in Canada. Yesterday, Minister Pettigrew unveiled the Youth Employment Strategy, which contains a series of initiatives to provide young Canadians with meaningful work experiences. The government of Canada is committed to helping young people to get the skills and experience they need to succeed in the new economy. I'm pleased to announce today that Industry Canada has struck an innovative partnership that will recognize teachers in all disciplines. En collaboration avec 4 Société orientée vers l'avenir, la Banque Royale, Bell Canada, Merck Frost et DuPont Canada, les prix du Premier ministre pour l'excellence dans l'enseignement continueront et récompenseront des éducateurs qui préparent leurs élèves à relever les défis de demain. Les sciences, la technologie et les mathématiques seront toujours essentielles, mais des compétences touchant à d'autres disciplines seront également reconnues. These corporations who are partners with us have shown a vision and a generosity in taking part in this awards program. On behalf of the Government of Canada, I would like to thank you very sincerely for your contribution. We have with us today senior representatives from all four partners, and I would ask you to please stand and be recognized. Mr. John Cleghorn, Chairman and CEO of the Royal Bank. Linda Gervais, who's Vice President with Bell Canada. Monsieur André Macheter, Président Merck Frost. And Mr. John Cameron, who's Vice President, DuPont Canada. La contribution de ces entreprises est d'une grande générosité, mais je crois que l'on peut dire que la participation du secteur privé à des programmes tels que celui-ci constitue un investissement, un véritable investissement dans l'avenir du Canada. With the help and the guidance of people like Jan Eastman and teachers' federations across Canada, this kind of corporate support will help us build the skills and the capabilities that the young people of Canada need to prosper for the next millennium. One of the skills which is very important in the new millennium is the ability to access and use the internet. Over half of Canada's 16,500 schools are now already connected to the internet. And we're working very hard with the provinces and territories under our SchoolNet program to connect every school and every library by the year 1998. Les projets de ce type aideront les élèves à acquérir les compétences nécessaires dans la nouvelle économie. Corporations can do a lot to help schools in this direction as well. And as an example, Corel has just promised to provide a free copy of its Office Suite software, which includes website creation tools, to every school in Canada who register with SchoolNet. That's over, at this point, over 8,000 units, and what a wonderful gift that is to the schools of the country. Following the awards presentation today, I invite you to come forward to explore an interactive demonstration of the SchoolNet's grassroots program, which highlights how Canadian teachers, who will be at the front and at the back, are using technology to enrich the learning experiences of their students. Je vous invite également à parcourir les collections numérisées d'art canadien. Ces jeunes Canadiens ont préparé afin que des certains de classe dans toutes les régions du pays puissent les consulter sur Internet grâce au programme de collection numérisée de Reschool. La technologie a changé notre manière d'apprendre. Elle nous offre plusieurs possibilités merveilleuses d'apprentissage, mais il reste une constante, et c'est l'influence personnelle qu'exercent les enseignants et enseignantes dévoués sur la croissance et la réalisation de leurs élèves. It remains tremendously important, the personal influence which teachers have. I think all of us have at least one teacher who stands out in our memories as having been very influential. A teacher who captured our imagination. A teacher who turned us on to a particular subject and got us really captured, enraptured, and motivated. I know I certainly do. I had several. And I'm sure that were it not for those teachers, that I wouldn't be here today. And so I'm proud that there's the opportunity to recognize teachers now who are doing to young Canadians, are leading and inspiring young Canadians in the way teachers inspired me when I was growing up. Enfin, c'est pour moi un réel plaisir de vous présenter une personne qui est attachée à l'excellence en éducation et qui tient à préparer les jeunes à relever les défis de l'avenir et à saisir les occasions que leur seront présentées. Mesdames et Messieurs, le Premier ministre du Canada, le très honorable Jean Chrétien.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, John, Madame Eastman, partners, Mesdames et Messieurs, members, House of Commons. It's for me a great pleasure to be here to honor the outstanding teachers. I am delighted that after we started this program that now the private sector is coming along and more or less taking part of the bill. So we'll reduce the deficit or we'll put it somewhere else. I see Mifflin was talking about his fishermen right away, but I just want to say that it's a great thing. When I heard John Gerard a minute ago talking about what we're trying to do at this moment, when I realized that Canada will probably be the first country in the world to connect through the internet all the schools and the libraries in Canada, that's the sign that we'll be the first. And that's extremely important for the future. And one of the great aspects of it that is missed is when I was in Paris a few weeks ago, you know, they look at us because there's 50 countries in the world who use French as either the first or second language and in schools. And we are the country that is the best place to make anything that is produced in this new world, if I can use that expression, to the francophone communities of the world. Et c'est pourquoi, lorsque j'étais à Paris discutant avec les autorités que nous parlions de la francophonie, j'étais capable d'expliquer que le Canada pouvait être la cheville ouvrière de la participation de la francophonie sur les autoroutes modernes des télécommunications. Et d'ailleurs, au sommet de Cotonou, nous avons eu une démonstration à tous les chefs d'État des 50 pays représentés. Et ce qui me faisait le plus plaisir, c'est que toute la technologie était, pour parler en bon français, le software, était du Canada, du Québec, du Nouveau-Brunswick et de l'Ontario. Ce qui prouve que si le Canada, par l'excellence que nous pouvons nous donner par l'intermédiaire des professeurs et ayant conscience des possibilités, nous serons très bien placés pour le 21e siècle. And it's why, for me, it's such a great pleasure to be with the teachers who will challenge the young people of Canada to be the first in all these new technologies that escape some of us. That means that we will be in an extremely good position around the world. Because when I'm traveling the world with Team Canada, you know, we have a great reputation because we are known as a country that can produce goods and services of the first class, and that we can have access to a lot of countries because we're blessed with 2 official languages that are used in more than 100 countries in the world. So for you, the teachers who are devoting your time to make sure that your students are the best, you know, it's for us, the parliamentarians, you know, a great honor and a great privilege to say thank you and asking you to keep up the good work. As John said, there's always some teachers who have marked our lives, and for me, one, it was not in science and anything, it was in self-control. You know, I see members of the opposition here in the hall, and they know that this teacher has been very good for me. Because when I was telling him something funny, he will not laugh. And when I was talking to him about a very serious problem, he will have a lot of fun. And he was just good at making sure that I controlled my emotions, you know, facing the difficult task we had in those days to be in a boarding school. Going to bed, I was 21 years old, and at 8 o'clock on Sunday night. So the priest in charge of the discipline will close the light and will take the newspaper to read, because it was still sunshine outside and we had to sleep. So it's that type of education, that excellence that we have received, all of us, in different ways, that have made it possible to achieve what we have achieved. And the dedication of teachers is always marvelous. And it's always a very important point when you grow older, when you meet your friends. The one thing that connects students, former colleagues together is talking about their teachers, and the ones who were good and some were a little bit less good, but who are not here today. So I want to thank the partners, and I want to congratulate the winners. Félicitations à tous et toutes pour un excellent travail, et je suis sûr que vos écoles, vos commissions scolaires sont très fiers de vous. When you go back home with a little certificate, you know, they will look up at you because you have been recognized as the best in the land. Thank you very much for your good work.
I'm now going to call upon the national winners from east to west. Pour 1996, les lauréats et les lauréates nationaux du prix du Premier ministre pour l'excellence dans l'enseignement des sciences, de la technologie et des mathématiques sont the 1996 National Award recipients are Dennis Galloway, Amalgamated Academy, Bay Roberts, Newfoundland. Mr. Galloway is known as a trailblazer who gets students involved in innovative learning projects. His grade 6 students were involved with the National Geographic Kids Network 7 years ago, long before most other Canadian schools had access to the internet. Since then, he has had them solving problems and doing research with students from across North America and around the world. Joanne Patry, École secondaire Vaudreuil, Vaudreuil, Quebec. Grâce à sa grande curiosité, Madame Patry a étudié dans plusieurs domaines scientifiques, de l'agronomie à la neurologie. Elle communique son plaisir d'apprendre à ses élèves en leur offrant des activités comme le club science au futur, une simulation d'un voyage en espace. Carl Twiddy, Markham District High School, Markham, Ontario. Mr. Twiddy is known throughout Southern Ontario's York region as the chemistry show teacher because of his annual chemical safety show. Mr. Twiddy's successful industrial mentorship program and school presentations have done much to introduce young people to chemistry and have helped overcome stereotypes about the chemical industry. Wayne Keith Thompson, Almont and District High School, Almont, Ontario. Mr. Thompson has gathered support from industry across Eastern Ontario for his innovative programs, such as a distance learning program that allows students to take part in regular classes while working on a school-sponsored house building project. The video technology and techniques used in this project were also used by Mr. Thompson to hook up with a school on the Isle of Wight in the United Kingdom. Jamie Kwok, Cummer Valley Middle School, North York, Ontario. Mr. Kwok puts considerable emphasis on hands-on activities to help students faced with learning a second language and completing the science curriculum. As a result of his efforts, all of his students, especially those learning ESL or with special needs, enter high school with the ability to talk about abstract ideas in their second language. Zoltan Korita, Northern Secondary School, Toronto, Ontario. Mr. Korita puts considerable effort into keeping his students aware of the latest scientific developments in biotechnology. He does this by placing his students in research labs where they are familiarized with modern molecular biology techniques used in producing products for interfacing tissue with prosthetics, gene therapies, and anti-cancer drugs. Mr. Korita's students have gone on to succeed in national and international science competitions. Edward James, Eastwood Collegiate Institute, Kitchener, Ontario. Mr. James has spent 22 years helping students, especially girls, succeed in science. For example, he organized a math and science program for girls at Eastwood Collegiate and prepared materials for the Women Inventors Project. Many young women go on to pursue non-traditional careers every year with Mr. James' support and encouragement. Patricia Beecham, Martin Grove Collegiate Institute, Etobicoke, Ontario. Just one of Ms. Beecham's many achievements is a program of 5 courses in microbiology, biotechnology, run in cooperation with local biotechnology companies. When this program was threatened with cancellation, a strong outpouring of support from former students who had gone on to successful science careers helped convince authorities to maintain it. Jacqueline Aird, Green Acres School, Stony Creek, Ontario. Mrs. Aird has used her 32 years teaching experience to integrate math and sciences into the primary curriculum. Her students have learned how to read, write, and understand numbers up to 4 digits and keep a garden to learn about the environment. Thanks to her efforts, girls have become more confident in science and boys have shown more confidence in reading. Denise McWilliams, Emerson Elementary, Winnipeg, Manitoba. As a result of Ms. McWilliams' efforts, students at Emerson Elementary have been provided with the opportunity to have fun while they learn about math through early morning math clubs and by problem-solving open-ended problems posted on a bulletin board. In addition, students from across Manitoba who have never met Ms. McWilliams are following the new provincial curriculum that she helped develop. Jane Skinner, Ottawell School, Edmonton, Alberta. Mrs. Skinner's students learn everything from communications to problem-solving skills in the context of the sciences. With one innovative project, Getting Hooked on Science, her grade 7 students created aerodynamics demonstrations that were presented during Edmonton's Education Week. Records of her former students show consistently strong performances in the sciences right through high school. Hans van Kessel, Belrose Composite High School, St. Albert, Alberta. Whether they are studying combustion or electric motors, Mr. Van Kessel's students are taught how to develop analytic techniques that they will be able to use over and over again. Students are drawn to his classes by his infectious enthusiasm and sustained by the self-esteem that comes from learning that they too can do science successfully. Michael Zwinyel, Harry L. High School, Edmonton. Ainlay High School, beg your pardon. Long before integrating scientific, technological, and social concerns became the norm, Mr. Zwinyel wrote textbooks using this approach for high school students. He has also used these principles to develop labs, demonstrations, and a traveling chemistry magic show. On provincial exams, his students regularly outperform the average by a considerable margin. John O'Connor, Point Grey Mini School, Vancouver, British Columbia. Mr. O'Connor's students were the very first contributors to the CD-ROM magazine Science, developed by Vancouver's Science World. Mr. O'Connor's grade 8 students are expert users of computer technology and have considerable success at national science fairs and in math competitions. and Canwell Singh Neil Steveston Senior Secondary School, Richmond, British Columbia. Mr. Neil teaches students to think and respond to problems in different ways and helps them see how math can relate to modern life. He has made graphing calculators and a computer lab available to students during a time of shrinking budgets and has passed on his expertise to other teachers. Mr. Neil recently received an award for his work as the co-host of a highly regarded television show called Math Shop. Ladies and gentlemen, the 1996 national recipients of the Prime Minister's Awards for Teaching Excellence in Science, Technology, and Mathematics.
For more information, please contact Industry Canada at 1-800-268-6608.